It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Adam, you missed the new development in the Sunny D landscape. Sunny D with vodka. Saw it at the liquor store yesterday. Bye.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
All right, Elisha Krauss is here, but her bio isn't. You know what I said to Dr. Drew today? I go, 40% of my life is just redundant. It's 40% of my life is
like Groundhog Day,
saying the same thing over to the same people, like over and over again. It's always going to be a part of your life, but I don't feel it needs to be 40%. Like it should be like low teens.
Oh, you're lucky that it's only in the 40s. As a mom, I feel like it's like 99% of my life.
Yeah, as a mom, but now you're dealing with adults. Like every time Elisha Krauss comes on the show, I go, I wish I could give you a plug, but I don't have your bio in front of me. And then I go, we need Elisha Krauss's bio.
Well, I haven't done much, so maybe that's why.
It's a light bio, but it's still a bio.
They're like, why kill the tree to print this out?
Yeah, just put it on the screen, because I like to give you plugs, babe.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate that.
What were we just listening? Sunny D. Oh, it's got vodka in it. Okay.
So it's like orange juice and vodka, but now it's Sunny D and vodka? Like prepackaged?
Yeah, I think that's what they're saying.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, when anthropologists dig up our remains and try to calculate when our society started coming undone, because it's coming undone, it's going to be the time when we started combining everything. Like we started putting...
Oh my gosh, there it is.
Okay.
It wasn't...
Don't put it up there.
It wasn't...
Because the guest always goes, hey, look at that. No, it's all right. It's impossible. What I've been telling everyone here is if I said, let me tell you a story about the time me and Eartha Kitt sang karaoke together. And then what they do is they slide a picture of Eartha Kitt in, and then whoever's in here goes, oh, there she is.
We're like
but it'll be right in the middle of the story.
We're like a cat, like super distracted.
I'm cannot help. No, but it's not your fault. I tell my guys I can't help them. People have to respond. Don't worry. You've joined the pantheon of greats like Dr. Drew.
Oh, great. I'm glad to be up there with him. I would actually say it wasn't just, though, going back to your point, it wasn't just when we started combining the things. Because OJ and vodka has been
about to hit a punchline, but it's all right. It's all right.
But
forget
whippets,
it now.
Do you think that society started going, remember the whippets?
I was going to say, when we started putting like cheese in the crust of the pizza and cheese in the hot dog and Dorito flavored taco shells from Taco Bell, like it's the combination. It's when we started going, like we used to just have pizza and tacos and Sunny D and vodka. And when we started putting them all together, that's when we hit zenith stupidity.
Gotcha. Like we ran out of, and actually I don't think we ran out of creative ideas. Because humans are pretty creative. It's just like they go to the lowest hanging fruit.
Yeah, let's have Superman fight it out with Godzilla, you know what I mean?
For the 5,000th time.
No, we had Godzilla and we had Superman and then we had cheese and we had crust and we just...
But it's also like the remakes, right? Everything is live action now.
No, I get that. But what I'm saying is when Alien had to fight Predator, that's the same as us putting cheese in a hot dog. Like we've run out of ideas. You understand? We had Alien, we had Predator, we had hot dogs, we had cheese, at Sunny D, we had vodka. But we put them all. It's going to be the era of putting shit together that didn't need to go together. And that's when we hit... the height of stupidity.
Oh, like the era of putting men and women's sports.
There you go.
All at the same time as the Sunny D and the vodka, man.
It's such this argument, it's always a crazed argument that I have with people all the time when they go, well, what's the obsession? Why do you have an obsession? I'm like, I don't. If you said, look, on the girls' basketball team, I think we should start a Wolverine. I just go, no.
Yeah. No.
That's a bad idea, and it's not fair to the girls, and someone's going to get hurt. And they'd go, why are you so obsessed? I just go, I'm not obsessed. I'm saying it's a bad idea, and it's not fair to the girls.
And you're not referring to the girl Wolverines from the awesome 80s film, Red Dawn.
No.
Wolverine.
No.
Wolverine.
Leah Thompson.
Oh, yeah. Who was the other chick?
God, what's her name from Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
She was in
Dirty Dancing.
It was her. Yeah. Jennifer Grey.
Yep.
I'll tell you, there's been a handful of ladies who I've come across in my professional career that had it for the ace man.
Oh, was she one of them?
I think she could join a very short but prestigious list
of women
of women who came in to do the radio show who ended up liking me a little bit.
Oh, wow. I kind of want to know who else is on this list.
I would say
I love how the list is so short and prestigious. You can't think of a second person.
How do you know it's not so long and prestigious that I'm just going through this file folder in my mind?
I can tell by the seriousness of the face.
No, I cannot. I can't think of the woman's name, and it's one I never.
Natalie Maines.
Oh, Natalie Maines. Yeah.
Wait, should I know who that is?
Dixie Chicks.
Oh.
Or actually now just the Chicks because
yes,
they're woke.
you can't call them the Dixie anymore because that's racist.
Yeah, and then
Chicken species.
Yeah. Well, no, the one I'm trying to think of that's a deep cut that nobody knows is the woman who was like Shira, Lord of the Jungle, whoever the Australian chick, live action.
Oh, was she like the pretty brunette from the 90s?
Yeah,
that was like Xena Warrior Princess.
Xena Warrior Princess.
Oh, she was hot.
Yeah. I think she had.
She was like the OG Gal Gadot, right?
Yeah.
I feel like
she
Gal
was.
Gadot has that like superwoman, obviously, like vibe. And I remember Xena Warrior Princess was like that. She was like a mix of like Princess Leia and today's Gal Gadot.
Yeah,
combined.
Lucy Lawless. There she goes. Yeah. I did Kimmel Show. I was a guest on Kimmel Show.
And she became one of 3 of the celebrity women
well, I
that
don't
was
know.
interested in
You tell me. You tell me. We finished the show. She was a guest. I was a guest. And then we were done with the show. I said, I don't know. We were just talking like backstage or something. It was at 6 o'clock at night or something like that. And she said, like, what are you into or something? And I said, I'm into architecture. I like building and renovating.
I thought she was going straight for the kill. Like, what are you into?
Get your mind out of the gutter.
No, but she meant hobbies.
Yeah, I don't know. She didn't say what are you into. We just started talking, and I brought up architecture or something. And she said, oh, I love that. And I said, well, I like renovating and doing. And she goes, oh, that's great. And I go, I'm working on a big Spanish place on Lake Hollywood right now. And she's like, I love a big Mediterranean, whatever. And after about the 5th agreement she had, and I was into this house like big time, like I was working on it. I said, well, I'm actually going over there to check on some stuff. You want to see it, you can come with me. And she's like, great. And we just went over there. And
that's interesting.
I was like, I'm married. I was married at the time, and I was like, I never was a cheater, but as we're walking through my house at night alone, and maybe having a glass of wine or something, I can't remember.
Felt a little bit like a date.
Yeah,
like she was making measurements and wondering where her clothes would go.
Had a little date vibe to it. I basically found. My experience with women is, but you tell me.
Okay. Since I identify as a woman and actually have the X chromosomes of one.
You have one. That's right. Simone Biles disagrees, but fine. I have said it's pretty basic stuff. If a woman has an interest in you and you bring up a movie, like let's just say, well, what's in the theaters? Well, Mission Impossible's in the theaters, right? Yeah. So if a woman may not inherently have any interest in seeing Mission Impossible, but if she has an interest in you,
then she'll go see it with you.
Yeah, but that's not what I was going to say. Well, this is what I was going to say, but no, it's not what I was. Yes, you and Dr. Drew got a lot of similar.
That's why you like us so much.
That's why I like it. No, if you say to the woman who's not really interested in seeing Mission Impossible, I'm going to see Mission Impossible this weekend, they go, oh, I've been wanting to see that. That's interest. If they go, oh, I'm not a big Tom Cruise guy, then that's non-interest. So you really have to you bring something up and they go, I've always wanted to try that or always wanted to check that out. It could be you just go, I'm thinking about getting some bikes and riding along the Strand and Venice Beach. And they go, I've always wanted to do. Then they're saying, I'd like to do it. If they don't like you, they just go, good luck.
Yeah, but so what's hard as an extrovert who likes to make people feel comfortable is that I could be like, oh, yeah, I heard that movie was good. Some friends went to see it the other night. But then I wouldn't be like, do you want to go see it together? You know, like it can be a fine line.
You would have to be, first off, you would have to have a little sense that the guy's single, that maybe he has some interest.
Well, unfortunately, it's not whether or not the guy is always single or the girl is always right. Like sometimes people put out those feelers there.
You may have to know. You have to know which way the wind is blowing a little bit. It's not just you and some dude running, whatever. It's like you have to kind of go, I think this guy's, taking an interest in me.
Looking for a little something, something.
And when he brings up going to Knott's Berry Farms.
I'm not interested in Knott's Berry Farm, by the way.
But if you liked him and you were single, then you would go, I've always wanted to check it out. And you might go. But I'm saying
That's actually very true because I am terrified of roller coasters. And unless they're like Disney level coasters, like Space Mountain is the best. And when my husband and I were dating, maybe even already engaged, he was like, we were in Vegas for work. And he was like, I want to do like that roller coaster at the New York hotel. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it with you. I think I cried and almost threw up. Right. But I did it with him because he wanted to go on the freaking roller coaster.
God bless you. You're keepers, we used to say. But yeah, so when a person, when I'm going, it's at night. I go and I got this house, it's half built, it's up in the hills.
Well, she probably got her hopes up because you are also to blame, sir. Because you invited her. To your home at night and poured her a glass of wine, and it was just the two of you.
But as a guy,
you're dense.
As a guy, you always know that nothing is going to happen if you don't want it to happen.
I think also as a guy, from what I've heard from my husband and guy friends and all that stuff, is even when a guy wants something to happen, it's still, thankfully, when you're a gentleman, it's still in the woman's control, right?
Yeah.
So
well, that's what I'm saying.
Even if your intentions had been for something to happen, which they weren't, that she would have been in control of like whether or not they could or could not happen.
I was trying to think if I put the deadbolt on the front door or not. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I hadn't got the deadbolt on there. Either way, as a guy, no, that's, kind of. Well, yeah, I'm not going to rape anybody in my half-built house. I'm going to wait till it's done.
God.
No, I know as a guy, you can screw around. You can go, okay, this chick's probably got a little crush on me, but we can go do this whatever because I'm not going to cheat because I would have to cheat. I'm not going to do it. Like you're not going to instigate. You'll be fine. She's probably not going to do any. Even if she's digging it, she's not going to make the move. You know what I mean?
I've heard of some gals making the move, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not anybody in my friend group, but.
Not anyone in your friend group?
I have good friends, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, there's nothing wrong with making the move.
There was recent data that showed that, like, it's actually, I think the assumption, and I have, like, I call myself a conservative feminist, and I have very, like, feminist friends, but they're more on the left that are kind of, like, borderline anti-male, and they're like, every man's going to cheat on you. Every man is a cheater. And now the data is showing that it's actually kind of 50-50. Like when you look at affairs and divorces that are the result of affairs, it tends to be 50-50.
Really?
But I think, I haven't like read the actual divorce filings, but I think that for men, it's definitely more physical. And for women, I think it's like emotional.
Yeah.
Like an emotional affair.
Yeah.
So she was probably like, oh, there's something about Adam that I like. And yes, I also like Spanish-style homes, and I'm going to go see where I'm going to put my new drapes.
I can't say for certain, and I don't know if there was anything after that, but I just remember...
She didn't slide into your DMs? That wasn't a thing back then?
No. I just sort of remember her going, I don't know why she's being so agreeable, but next thing you know, we're walking through my house. I'll take that as... Maybe she was open to the notion of a date.
So we got two people on the list that were open to the notion.
Yeah. If you gave me some time and a
You're gonna
steno
think of some
pad.
more. That's why I didn't think the list was very long. You literally had the same look on your face that my 7-year-old does when she's trying to come up with a good reason for like smacking her sister.
Yeah. Well,
Literally.
I have a low self-esteem memory, so I might not remember all who was on that list.
Does it require a low self-esteem memory? Because I would feel like sometimes as somebody with low self-esteem, you'd want to delve back into the archives to give yourself a little boost.
I discovered I had the low self-esteem memory when we were doing the Man Show, and we thought it'd be funny to go back and contact all the women I dated before I was a celebrity. I was a poor guy driving a Isuzu Trooper with roommates and, poor guy syndrome. And I said, well, here's a list of all these girls I used to date who dumped me. It'll be funny to go back and see how they feel now.
Like the Toby Keith song, How Do You Like Me Now?
It's exactly like that one. Or the Toby Keith, I Want to Talk About Me. That was my favorite Toby Keith song because he yodels in it. And so I tell my segment producers or something, they ran everyone down, and everybody they talked to just went, I didn't dump Adam, he dumped me. And I was like, wait a minute. But then I realized my low self-esteem brain when I got dumped, but I probably didn't get dumped half the time. But I also realized people have they have a weird poetic memory when it comes to who dumped who.
Yeah.
So I think that was a lot.
Everybody always wants to, I think, naturally, emotionally, people might want to make themselves like the victims.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because dumping somebody else seems a little icky. You know?
Yeah. I get that. And so I went, oh, that person dumped me. But then that person went, oh, he dumped me. And I was like, well, there's only one way to settle this, my lady.
So did the segment work? Like what ended up happening?
I never did it.
Never did it.
No, because they all felt like I dumped them.
So my husband was my first boyfriend.
Really?
So I don't have this experience.
That'd be a horrible Man Show bit. All right, what do you got in the news department?
Well, since we already touched on it, I think we should talk about how Simone Biles is now apologizing to Riley Gaines after their back and forth on X. Did you see the original tweet?
I saw, we covered it.
I still say tweet, by the way.
What's that? I still say tweet. Yeah, I get it.
It feels weird to say after she X'd.
Yeah. No,
right?
Listen, I tell people, go Xerox this for me right now, would you please?
I need a Kleenex.
Yeah. Although they still have Kleenex.
I know, but everybody calls tissues Kleenex, even though they're not all Kleenex.
Right, but we were discussing old names that are no longer actual names.
It's also like Kleenex and Band-Aids. I think that they're all trademarked, but that's kind of the colloquial.
Right. I'm making a separate point, which is kind of adjacent to this point, but it's still a different point, which is I don't know. Well, maybe there are Xerox copiers. Are they still making Xerox copiers? Because your point may be right. If they're still if people still have them.
They still make HP printers and stuff. Who uses printers anymore? Apparently we do.
Xeroxing is still a thing.
Wow.
Okay. So.
All right.
She apologized.
So the original thing really pissed me off when Simone said bully someone your own size, which would ironically be a male.
Yeah, that was weird. Hey,
it's really mean girl.
But riddle me this.
Uh-huh.
I think all the woke folk out there thought they lived in some biosphere where all of humanity just backed them up and agreed with them all the time.
They do. Yes.
And they're like, you see everybody in LA, you'll see Biden-Harris bumper stickers all over the place. You'll never see a Trump one because Trump people realize probably less than half of these people voted like I did, and they're all impulsive assholes who are going to key my car. So I'm going to deal. The ones I notice, the wokesters are loud and proud. They'll just come in and start talking about, I have 5 kids and 6 of them are transitioning right now, and I got the gay parade to go to. Fuck religion, and and by the way, we're vegan, right? And you're like, not everyone thinks like you. Mm-hmm. And in the past, if you surrounded yourself with these circles, you kind of could just get away with saying stupid shit. And everyone went, yeah, of course. Yeah, BLM. Yeah, COVID. Mm-hmm. Yeah, mask. Yeah, 100 Biden laptop. Those days are gone. you start spouting off now, and now you get called out.
And I'm glad that she got called
Me too.
out. I think that can listen. It can happen on the right too, because I'm clearly on the right, and I think that sometimes any human is capable of getting in their own bubble of like positive reaction from their like little circle of friends.
I agree, but I feel like the people on the right are more cognizant of
reality.
You would never sit down and go, all right, everyone's voting for Trump in this writers' room,
everybody
right?
likes their
We're all Trump guys.
medium rare.
We're all this, right? Like you understand most people in this town disagree with you.
100%.
And so you get it.
Yes.
Even if your bubble doesn't.
And I think that there has to be some level of not just the bubble when it comes to these like woke people, but maybe a little dose of narcissism.
Oh, yeah. It's a big dose of narcissism. Yeah.
To be like, well, how dare you not agree with me because I am the best and the smartest. Like that is their perspective.
And also they just look at every subject has a popular side to be on and a unpopular side to be on. So they're like stupid innocuous stuff like I was talking about earlier, like lab leak COVID versus wet market COVID. They go, okay, we're all in wet market, right? Yeah, okay.
Came from a bat.
Yeah, well, why not the lab leak COVID? It's like, no, we don't, that's not a popular one.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, well, it sounds much more likely that it came from a lab. I know, not popular. Didn't you hear me? Black Lives Matter. Okay.
Black squares.
Black squares.
Everybody do the black squares.
We know where to land. So they just do this stuff, and I don't even think they know what they're saying most of the time. Like, I don't think Simone Biles knows what she's talking about. She's just...
This is
cool
why I
side of
also
this.
like encourage people, like young people, and they're like, I want to be Ben Shapiro. I want to be like Adam Carolla. I want to be like Joe Rogan. I'm like, that's great if you think that you're skilled and talented on that. It takes a lot of work and effort and talent and brains and like, sense of humor and stuff to get there. But you also need the people that are, maybe in gymnastics and maybe in social media companies and maybe working at the heads of H&M and Target and all these other places. So like when they're having the conversations about we're currently in Pride Month, right? Can't tell you how many emails I've gotten about like Pride and celebrating Pride with the sale. The same bullshit happens on International
crazy.
Women's Day. And I'm like, really? You want to give me 20% off a bras because now you're pretending you know what a woman is?
Right.
It's ridiculous. And we need people in those rooms that are asking the questions and pushing back and being like, is this really gonna, like, aren't we a business? Aren't we about the bottom line here? Like, aren't we a society that has some level of common sense?
I'm very unpopular with this opinion where when I hear some politician go, diversity is our strength. No, it's not your strength. It's just something. It's not a goal. It's not a strength. We have, it's like, Biden used to do we have the most diverse cabinet in all the history of the going back to like 1871, they had more women and more gays. Or like, we have the most diverse. Yeah, you have a rogues gallery of fuck-ups who shouldn't be there because you have 3 he-she's and this nut job lesbian over there and Mayorkas over there
and
looking
the guy
after
that
the
liked
border.
to steal other people's luggage.
The bald guy with the lipstick who like to rip off dresses at the airport. Yeah, it's diverse. It's super diverse. It'd be like, if you go, we have the Lakers, our starting 5 is the most diverse. Like we got a Chinese guy and we got a guy from Kenya and we got a guy from Ireland.
And a woman from Oklahoma.
And we got a woman from Oklahoma. And it's like,
who cares?
Is that going to be the best team or you just have a bunch of different looking people?
Yep.
And so Lakers, if you had a woman from Oklahoma and a guy from Ireland starting on your team, is that your strength? Or is it just 5 black guys who happen to be the best at this particular sport?
I think that it is really unfortunate so you remember how we had the sandwich conversation about the better the country, the more sandwiches we have?
Oh, yeah.
I would argue, I'm hungry right now, sorry I'm bringing up food. I would argue that is a level of American diversity that is a good thing because it is like the melting pot of America. But what's unfortunate is that the modern left, since before I was alive, probably 35, 40 years, has been saying they've been stealing the diversity, like positive melting point, like a talking point, and they've made it into how do you identify?
Yes.
Like, what's your socioeconomic status? What color are you? And as long as you're not a Christian or a Jew, okay, then you're diverse.
Right. And then you pitted people against each other, and that's why you're in the shape you're in.
Yes.
Everyone wants to travel through the food court of life and say, you want Chinese, or should we get burgers, or should we get ribs, or should we get sushi? And that's diversity.
Yep.
And it's good, and we enjoy it. And we like seeing different faces and hearing different music and things of that nature. That's fine. It's the forced diversity and the part where I would like to open a restaurant in the food court and they go, you're a white guy? Yeah. You're heterosexual? Yeah. Okay. No food court for you. We need another sushi place, or we need another Mexican, another taco stand. And I'm like, okay, now I don't like your diversity. I like the diversity where the best players start. That's my diversity.
And Simone Biles and Riley Gaines won up against women in their categories of sport. They are both insanely talented. And I've been a fan of Simone, and I appreciated her openness and honesty about her mental health struggles and stuff. So actually, I was like, first I was pissed off, and then I actually got really sad because I'm kind of sick and tired of girls with like the bitch fighting. And I feel like to go to somebody's size is so petty and low. And then Riley was obviously able to pull up all these previous tweets of Simone being like, glad I'm not competing against the dudes. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Of course you're glad you're not competing against the dudes.
Also, the size thing is a bizarre angle because the average American woman, probably under the age of 30, and you can look it up, the average American woman under the age of 30 is probably 5'5.5", maybe 5'6", exactly Riley Gaines' height.
Yeah, I haven't met her in real life, but I've heard she's a tiny gal. And next to Leah Thomas, there is a significant size difference.
Yeah, the dude, right. So I don't know what your point is, like your dude size, but she threw a tape on herself. She measured herself, and she was 5'5.5".
Tiny. I'm 5'7", and I feel short.
I don't think it's tiny because the average woman under 30 is 5'4".
Whoa, in the United States?
Which is interesting. I wouldn't think it was that short in the United States. Maybe if you did the world. Yes, in the United States.
Wow.
All right. So 5'5.5" is not tiny for a woman. It's average.
Average size.
For a woman. But why is Simone Biles picking on her size?
But to me, I don't think it was picking as a woman who's had women like make mean comments about my size or my looks or whatever. And sometimes dudes in the YouTube comments. I don't think it was about the height. I think it was about the overall size. Like you're kind of like
we got to read it. Hey, Dawson or somebody, I don't know why I don't have any pens in here or how they all escaped, but I could use one. Thank you.
So she said bully someone your own size, which would ironically be a male.
So
it's not men aren't
there was
just
some body shaming going on.
Exactly. Men aren't just taller than women. Men are built very differently than women with like every part of your bone structure and your muscle structure and your hormones and all this
stuff.
Stuff.
You know what? Bully someone your own size. Oh, well, what it was is Riley Gaines put a tape on herself. She filmed herself with a tape.
Yeah. So
and
Riley
she was 5'5.5". But
Riley
also
was being very
Riley's a slenderish, average build at best, like on the slimmer side of women in America. So anyway, it's a retarded point that Simone Biles made. But anyway,
and she's walking it back.
She is going to do what?
So she hasn't said exactly what she's going to do, but she broke down her stance on the whole topic with a long response on X, saying that she doesn't have all the answers, but the first step in reaching a conclusion is approaching the matter with empathy and respect. Now, and she said that they are sensitive and complicated issues, and individual athletes, especially kids, should never be the focus of criticism of a flawed system that they have no control over. I believe that sports organizations have the responsibility to come up with rules supporting inclusion while maintaining fair competition. We want a future for a sport that is fair, inclusive, and respectful. If you take that last line, I think I've literally written that in op-eds in the past when I've talked about this issue with CIF and, these teams that have boys on them. It's like, I'm sure there's a couple of people that on the right that are like, yay, we can talk about trans people. But it's never my intent or heart or whatever. I actually do have empathy for these kids because I think that they've been lied to, and I think that they're being used as political pawns by a ridiculous medical system in the left.
I agree.
And maybe they do just want to go out there and play softball. Fine. But if you're going to say that you want something that is fair, inclusive, and respectful, it's not fair, inclusive, or respectful to girls in sports to make them play against a dude.
Okay,
I have the same socks that Riley's wearing right there.
We're looking at Riley Gaines, and she looks slender, and then her husband or whomever is going to throw tape on her, as we say in the business, the carpentry business, and he measures it out. Go ahead, play it. And we find out she's 5'5.5", and looks slender. So the weird slight about being man size, I'm 6'2" and I'm 200 pounds. She's 5'5.5", and she's 122 pounds.
Probably.
Or 20. Yeah, I mean, so I don't know
it's all muscle, God bless her.
I don't, you talking about me? Now you sound like warrior princess lady. All right, here we go. Play the tape.
Okay, figured I would whip out a tape measure to settle this debate. Wikipedia says I'm 5'9". Simone Biles yesterday told me to bully someone my own size and then said, ironically, that would be a man. Number one, acknowledging that there are differences between men and women. Number two, this is my 6'4" husband, the same height as Will Thomas, my super cute husband. I've got a tape measure. Clearly, I don't have shoes on.
He's putting his hand on her head.
Back to back. Don't know why the lights are flickering. Maybe that's an omen. Standing back to back. I have to stand on it or the haters are going to say we have like a Republican tape measure.
He's putting his hand up there on her head.
What we got?
Holding it out.
5.5 on the nose, a hair below actually.
All right.
5'5.5".
Yeah.
So.
They're maybe 7/16.
They're such a cute couple.
They are.
Like, they're so good looking.
Let me
They have
say
such
this.
pretty babies.
I have an invention. What you see when you see this couple is offspring. What I see is an invention.
Invention?
An invention.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Okay.
For years, since the dawn of time, when you measure somebody, that guy's holding his hand on top of her head flat and it's tilted at a 10-degree angle, and then he's holding it up one way or so. That is not scientific at all. There's an inch below or an inch above. And then, when your kids lean up against the door jamb.
Yeah,
and
we have those markings in the kitchen doorway.
Mark the kid in the kitchen doorway. I don't know why we're so enamored with that, but we do it, and then at some point you die and the next gay couple buys your house, paints right over it. That's life, baby. But every time, and it happens, then you go to the doctor. Has anyone been to the doctor lately? They pull that fakakta metal stick out of the back of the scale.
Has a thing.
First off, you can't just have a height station. It's got to be connected to the scale. But you stand on the scale, and they pull that thing out. And when you see the stick come out, it comes out like a 45-degree angle. Like it looks like a pitched roof. And you're like, that thing is not flat. It's going up. This thing's down. You shaved 2 inches off my height with this thing. Are you ready?
Okay.
A height measuring level hat. Now listen to me. Hear me out. It's a clip. It's just a clip.
Indeed.
What do they call the clip? What do they call that for the women's?
Like a headband, a hair clip, a hair tie?
No, there's a name.
A claw clip?
Nope. This all predates you.
Okay.
And you're homeschooled, so you probably don't know everything.
I know everything but pop culture things.
There's a thing, probably more popular in the 60s and 70s. It's not a beret. I want to say beret, but it's not a beret. It's a
Barrette?
Barrette. It's a barrette, right? It's a plastic, barrette.
Is it like the clippy ones? Like they used to be metal?
No, they're just like, it's bent plastic, and women would hold their bangs back or whatever by putting, we'll show you a barrette in use. Okay, better yet, Steve Martin. You know the man?
Yes.
Okay, he had the arrow through the head, right?
Yes.
But it wasn't a real arrow. He had a clip.
Oh, so you're going to do this for measuring people.
What I'm going to do is have the clip, barrette. Was it a barrette?
No, a barrette I think is like
no, you're right. That's the clippy
goes
thing.
in
It's my fault for listening to Dawson. What is that called?
Well, if it's like a
hoop.
headband.
It's a hoop. It's not a headband.
It's not like the headphones with something.
It
on
is,
the
but
side.
it's not. It's a clip that goes on your head from like the 60s, but it's not a barrette.
That was a test, and I passed.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
It
I
is?
don't know what a barrette is.
Oh, you don't?
That's the only word that I know for that type of thing. That's the only word that I know.
It could be a barrette. All right, what are you typing in Google?
I know.
And
I'm
we're
like,
going
should
to
I
find
just pull
this
out
thing.
my phone and see what it is? Yeah, that's what I
That's
thought.
not
it
a barrette.
was.
Not a
And then,
barrette.
like, the
All
hair
right,
clips.
Dawson. Thanks for that help. Not a barrette. Punch in 60s woman's hair device.
Device.
Then
Band.
you're gonna
put
get
band.
pictures of.
It's called. You're gonna know. It's goddamn it. It's called something. You'll know what it is. All right. Number 4. Number 3 or 4 on
That's
that.
like type of.
on
That's
that
a type of
list.
headband.
Yeah, but they had a name.
They had a specific name for like the cloth headband.
No, this is be a plastic. It's a plastic hoop. It's like a half. This thing's gonna have to be plastic. Is everyone picturing what I'm
Is
saying?
it one of those things that's shaped like a horseshoe that they
Yeah,
put over their
yeah,
head
yeah.
and it
Guys,
kind of
it's
tucks behind
called
the ears?
a
Yeah.
headband.
No, because this is plastic.
But headbands can be any fabric.
They
No, but
call
this is
them
a device.
I'm
Alicia.
telling you, there is a name because well, the one thing I'm
Headband.
always right about is there is a name. It is the left, up and left.
It's a
up and left.
headband.
It's not a headband. A headband is a scarf that you tie.
No, that's a scarf.
Headband.
My mom has one, and she calls it a headband.
Oh, there's no way I've been living this kind of lie my entire life. I'm telling you, there's a
They
name.
make them out of velvet and plastic and like satin, and
And they snap on your head.
they don't snap on your head. It's like that red one right there. You just like put it on your head. It's like if I had this on.
I'm saying. I'm
without
not saying
the-
they snap on your head, but they snap on your head, right?
It goes behind the ears.
Does it
just
snap
like you
onto your
said.
head?
No, it doesn't snap onto your head.
How's
You
it
just put
stay on?
Because it's kind of like tight. It's folded. How do the
all right,
headphones
I'm
stay
saying
on?
that- They snap on your head.
They don't snap.
They're not tied on. How's my headphones stay on?
These
They
don't-
snap on
these
my.
don't snap.
Well, I
Buttons
understand that
snap.
your skull does not have a male piece of stainless steel extruding from your forehead. I'm saying they're not tied off. They
Okay.
snap on.
Uh-huh.
I'm saying the word snap. They use friction,
tension.
self-tension and friction to snap or to
I still-
stay on your head, right?
I'm actually curious to know. I love it. 60s women hair device that use tension and friction is what they're Googling.
All right. I'm gonna have to. I have to do this on my own.
Back to your patent pending idea.
Yeah. That headband. All right. I'm gonna have to look into this.
What would you call it? What would you call it?
I thought it was called
The head
like
snatcher?
a beret is a barrette. A barrette's not called a hair clip. It's called a barrette. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there is a difference between a barrette and a hair clip.
Oh, there is.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Well, it's still called
The
a barrette,
mechanism.
which doesn't really mean it's not like when I'm yachting, I go, hand me that barrette so I can hold the sail down. It's its own specific name for this hair thing. You know what I mean? Women do that with everything. They get their own stupid name, so they pay more for it.
Sometimes.
Like this.
Like rompers versus jumpers versus jumpsuits versus maxi mini dresses.
This conditioner has balsam in it. And people go, I don't know what that is, but I'm paying,
Yep.
man.
Tea tree oil.
Yeah. They make up. Oh, Pantene's got Fantastico 11 nutrient in it. And people go, oh,
Vitamin E oil.
Fantastico 11. That sounds amazing. I'm saying they make up words. This has Nutrigrate in it. I go, ooh, sounds like nourishment
Yeah,
and great.
nutrients. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You ready for the idea?
Okay.
Sorry to take that side.
I feel like I need to play the lawyer and be like, patent pending
You-
idea by Adam Carolla that cannot be taken.
Could be me with my thought that had a name. Thought it had a name. I'm still going to research it. But I still win on the snap on your head because that's how it goes. It snaps on. I'll put it to you this way. If I peeled it back on one side and let it go, it would snap on your head.
Probably it hurt a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I give you. Now, listen to me. It's called rough trade.
Okay.
All right. Now, it's that. It's the
Device.
It's the hairband that snaps on your head. It's the thing that Steve Martin holds the arrow on with.
Yes.
Okay, that is all we need. And then a 1 foot straight piece of plastic comes off it, and there's a little level bubble that comes on it. Like when
like
you
the leveler, like in the
when you
ruler
buy
thingamajigger.
blinds or things now, it always comes that something from IKEA. It'll come with a little bubble thing. That's on top of it. You snap that thing on your head. Yes, I used the word snap. You get it level. You stand next to the guy holding the tape measure, and then when the bubble is level, it's the bottom of the ruler that comes from it, and that's exactly how tall you are that day. No more holding a card up or a piece of cardboard and doing a
Or
weird
my
angle
5-year-old's
thing.
hand
It's
that's
a
like
leveler
this.
hat.
She always does this. So she
Leveler hat. No, it was a long way around for that, but
Yeah.
good job.
All right.
Wow, guys.
I don't know if it exists, but it should. The doctor's got that stupid flappy metal thing that's up at a weird angle. Like, that's not exact at all. Why is there so much slop in that thing?
Wow.
Huh?
I don't know that they want to be able to tell you that you're morbidly obese and to take Ozempic.
Well, that's why they measure you on the scale. They're really just trying to get you on the scale. They go, how much do you weigh? And you go, 185 pounds. They go, oh, okay, let's get your height. And you go, okay, hop up on that scale. And they're like, oh, now we got you, bitch.
Maybe that is why they got both of them in there. Oof,
I
last
wanted to
time-
do, I always wanted to do a man show bit. I'm telling you about my man show bits. I never did. I wanted to do a man show bit where
Hint production team.
I was an employee of the DMV. Like, we just had me go to the DMV in Glendale, and I was just behind the counter.
Oh, the one over on Glen Oaks.
Could be any DMV, but we go over to the one, and I would sit there in my DMV shirt, and when women came in, I'd go, did you fill out your stuff? We're going to renew your
I
license.
see where this is going.
And I'd go, okay, 135 pounds.
Oh, God.
Now, you do understand this is a legally binding document. Like, you do understand that this is information that you're going to be essentially giving to police and airport security and stuff, and we need to be accurate. So if you want to make any changes to the 135, I'll just wait it out. And they'd go, no, that's about what I am. And then I'd go, okay, well, we didn't want to have to do this, but we had a scale installed in the flooring that you're standing on now because too many people were lying about. So let me just check the number.
That would be really funny,
over
actually.
here. And then I'd get up and go, the readout's in the back room, but I'll be back. And they'd go, no, let's just come back. Just come back. 157. Just come on. Let's do this.
Every time I get on a scale, I keep telling myself that I've been doing some strength training and muscle weighs more than fat.
That's the angle. Muscle weighs more than fat. I know. You know what's funny?
You could do that to everybody, though, because I bet men also don't.
They're
not honest about their weight.
No.
Or their height. Could we
they
go
lie
there for a second?
Well,
You're a tall dude, so
with
you don't
my
have to
leveler
lie.
hat.
Women should take that on first dates.
It's the leveler barrette.
You're profiling the leveler barrette. You're up. I'm doing my profile on Tinder. I'm going to be wearing my leveler hat now and standing next to a 7-Eleven door. Right? I just go proudly, put the leveler hat on, put a close-up of the bubble right in the middle, ladies.
Yep.
Right in the middle. Plumb and level, bitches. And I stand next to a 7-Eleven door.
To double check it.
They put the numbers on there.
I know.
Yeah,
That's just so that she has two forms
You
of...
know I don't have some bullshit.
But you're a tall guy. Like, if they find you on Raya, they can look up, like, publicly, you're a tall dude. I'm saying I have some girlfriends that are single tall goddesses, and guys always say they are 5'9" on all of these dating apps.
Oh, well, there's
and they
numbers.
ain't.
You gotta look out for
you
certain numbers.
You could do the DMV thing with the women weight, lying about their weight, or breast size. Sometimes ladies don't lie about that.
5'9" is a
And then
is
for
a
the
marker.
dudes, they're always lying about their height.
That's 5'9".
If you're going to lie, yeah, that's what you lie. You say, I guess because it's possibly believable for somebody who's 5'5" or something.
I don't
But
mean, can't
let me
say
say
6
this
feet,
about the lie.
If you're going to lie, go for it.
But here's the thing about the lie. The same people that lie in their profile, like, hey, man, ladies, I'm 5'9", but you're really 5'4.5". At some point, you're going to meet up.
And she's going to be like, I'm 5'7" and you ain't
No
5'9".
way. And there's a lot of people do that. It's funny. It's like, the people that are always late. And then you talk to them and you go, come on, man, where are you? And they go, I'm just coming around the corner. I can see your car from here.
There's a line at valet.
I'm pulling up now. And you're like, okay. And then you hang up the phone. And then 45 minutes later, you do understand I will do the math on just getting off the freeway up the street because you are 45 minutes away. And while it's good in the moment, like saying I'm 5'9", at some point we're going to lunch.
So my girlfriends that are tall, like 5'11", 6 feet tall, it's not just the 5'9". Like, I think my mom, when I moved to New York City at 18, she was like, if a man ever tells you he's 5'9", he's not. And I was like, okay, thanks, Mom. But these guys on like Tinder and eHarmony and all these things will say that they're like 6'1". And they're taller dudes. They're like 5'10", 5'11". But for a girl who is 6 feet tall and you're seeing a guy's profile that says that he's 6'1", and then you show up for a blind date and he ain't 6'1", it's a problem.
Yeah.
And if they're going to lie about that, what else are they going to lie about?
Yeah, there are other parts to measure. All right, let's go out on top. Elisha Krauss, you go to her website, ElishaKrauss.com, right?
Yep.
YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Also, Scott Adkins, that movie's coming out. Diablo looks real good. I am going to be a Wise Guys in Salt Lake City. That's 13th. Yeah, it's coming up this Friday and Saturday. Doing 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday.
Fun.
Yeah, and then I'm going to Jimmy's Club in Vegas starting on the 19th, doing a bunch of shows over there. Just go to AdamCarolla.com for all the live shows. And until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Elisha Krauss and Scott Adkins saying mahalo.